Today I'm going to do a critical analysis of the Boston Marathon bombing response, Greenberger's perspective versus NIMS, NRF, and the after action report findings. The Boston Marathon bombing happened in 2023 in April, and there was 3 lives lost, 280 plus individuals injured, 16 traumatic amputations, and it took 102 hours to apprehend the suspects. There was 2 IEDs that were placed near the finish line that went off and triggering one of the most analyzed responses in U.S. history when it comes to terrorist attacks. Now, mind you, this comes after the big attacks following in the subsequent 20 years between the World Trade Center, the USS Cole, the Kenya bombings, September 11th, and subsequent situations overseas that were past the beginning of the war on terror. And particularly, this was another episode of that. And so it gave this analysis really gave an understanding of how, or tried to get an understanding of how well we did in response in terms of local, municipal, and federal resources. What Greenberger got right about the report is multi-agency investment. So at this time, it's been 12 years since DHS has really started and got together. And the years of funding and coming together, exercises, training, relationships, building across local, state, and federal levels, built an infrastructure that activated rapid response under pressure. So there's definitely successes there. Pre-positioned medical assets, area hospitals had hospital incident command systems running before the bombs detonated, 80 plus agencies staffed the multi-level coordination center. Every transported patient survived. That's a big win. Culture of coordination, so a big culture of coordination came together and internalized the NIMS principles through the shared drills of the marathon on July 4th and other large events that coordinated as a habitual, not improvisation. So the outcome that proved the system: 0 in-hospital fatalities, over 281 injured patients treated at 26 hospitals, over 70% arrived within 90 minutes, and 80 plus agencies involved. So there was great coordination in those efforts. What Greenberger falls short under is the ICS tactical breakdown. The triage ribbon and the tactical protocols were inconsistently applied in the field, a direct failure of the standardization of ICS procedures and NIMS mandates at the technical level. Radio interoperability failure is another one where the communication and channels between and wireless communication between units wasn't there, and then no unified command in Watertown where the event was happening. Prevention failure was unaddressed. So after the fact, doing the prevention wasn't completely brought together. The deeper lesson of this is structural compliance and behavioral integration. Um, the cultural integration of this aspect should be internalizing coordination mindset, particularly now in the challenging times that we are in within the new administration and the ever-evolving aspect of the threats that are coming our way. The terrorist impact for us does not change. There's always going to be something else. There's always going to be something coming down the road. And this is not just terrorism-wise, but it's all kinds of crises, whether it's natural disasters, plagues, etc. Basically anything that is severe in the human sense. So what we need to do is we have to have internalizing coordination, joint exercises, and shared experience, pre-built interagency relationships, habitual cross-org communication, and behavioral trust under pressure. So those are the cultural ingredients, but the structural compliance, having the NIMS plans, completing the ICS certifications, filing emergency ops plans, meeting accreditation standards, and checking the compliance box. That's the standard, but we really need to have the integration between those things and the culture. So the Boston model is worth studying because it is the most valuable evidence of resilience that is built before the crisis, not during. So there's structural impacts that were built before, and we saw how they behaved, and then the after action gave a bigger picture. So Boston validated the NIMS when paired with the genuine culture and coordination. Structural compliance alone does not guarantee behavior and integration at the tactile level. We see this in the regular business world all the time. Resilience is an input to crisis response, not an output. It must be built long before needed. Exactly. So that is my presentation. This is the things that we have to look at, but it's resilience in the long run is something that you continuously build on.